Well, full disclaimer, me and Kimo got into an argument 2 minutes before the podcast started, so things are a little tense over here. He's a fucking asshole. Roll the intro.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Millennial Era. This is Amir and Kimo. We got a really cool episode today. Amir's going to hit us with some business knowledge. But before we start off, if you didn't see episode 2, please go back, like, and subscribe on the YouTube and on Podbean. We'll be on iTunes shortly in this week. We're super excited, so let's take it off with Amir and he's going to hit you with some business knowledge.
Business and pleasure. That's today's topic. We're gonna try a little new structure here. We're gonna go over credit score. The make it or break it of the adult world. You got good credit, gates are open. You have bad credit, and you're closed out. We're just going to make this brief for people who don't have credit or are struggling to expand their credit. Hopefully you find some of this knowledge and benefit from it. Diving right into it. If you have no credit at all, what you want to avoid are something called hard points, which is basically like if you were to go apply for a credit card, you'll go apply, and whichever prospective company you're approaching, they'll look at your background, your information, and they'll either say yes or no.
So starting off, before we go back to the hard points, what if I don't have a credit card, right, for me, because I just got one, where do you think they should apply? If you don't have a credit card, where do you go?
That's what I was going to get into. You want to be careful. So if you have no credit, don't apply to American Express. All right, they're usually like a little more experienced company, and if you get a hard point, your credit score already kind of takes a hit. So the safest way to apply is to go to your bank, your local bank or corporate bank or whatever one's local to you, and you can go in there and apply for their credit card. If you have a relationship with your bank currently, they might give it to you without anything. But if you're younger and you have no credit, you can put up collateral. So say your limit is going to be $250 or $500 or $1,000, whatever, I think up to $1,500. You must give them that amount of cash. So if you give them $500, they hold it, and then they give you a credit card with a $500 limit, obviously because they have the collateral. So if you deem to not pay, they have something to take. The bank just never wants to lose. That's, I think, the safest way to go about it. That's what I did to start years ago. I think it was 5 years ago.
That's what I just did.
I went, I applied. I said, here's I needed to be 21, but she let me do it. Shout out to PNC. And they gave me a credit card. My limit was $250, and I went in with another $250 2 months later, made it $500. After that, after having it for about a year, I made sure my payments were on point. They gave me a legitimate credit card, one that didn't require collateral. My limit on that was $750, I believe, which I also would go swipe, pay.
What about the payments? Let's talk about the payments.
Yeah,
because I asked a stupid question about the payments, so.
Yeah, no. So, like, you did.
I see.
If you have a credit card and say your limit is $1,000, this is where people get into like murky waters.
This is my limit. He's referencing my limit.
Kimo's limit's $1,000, right? So the bank say you spend $1,000, the bank will say, okay, so and so you owe $1,000. You can pay the minimum payment. Say it's $78, so you can pay that and just let it roll over. But when you do that, you look desperate. So when you pay the minimum payment, it will affect your credit score eventually, if not immediately. What happens is that the bank or the lender, whoever's the credit card's authorized to, will look at you and be like, okay, this guy paid the minimum payment. He or she's paying a minimum payment. They might need this money more than they believe, so you look desperate. You look needy. So what I do, the best advice I can give you, pay off your entire thing. If you can. If you can, go take your credit card. What I did was I would say my parents sent me on an errand to go buy something. So my dad wanted to go get tires on his car, cost like $400. I would take the cash, pay with it with my credit card, deposit the money, and then pay my credit card with the cash instantly. I would pay things off 3 times a month, 4 times a month, sometimes once, twice a week. What that did is my transaction history started going. So banks were like, okay, this guy's trustworthy. He's reliable is what they want. Perfect payment history. So like I said, when you apply, take care of your credit. You never want to let more than 30% roll over. This came from the bank itself. They told me if you have, obviously it's 100%, pay 70% of the payment. Don't pay just the minimum payment. 70%, you're allotted 30% to roll over. That's a comfortable amount they feel secure with, you know?
Now I'm implementing the advice, building my credit score. I feel super, super happy. I actually had another question. I didn't know that, this is a stupid question too. I didn't know that if your limit was $1,000 per month, that if you spent 1,000 in a week, I didn't know that if you paid it off, you get the 1,000 back. Is that stupid? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
no,
I did not
you
know
do.
that.
So
I
if
thought
you have
you
a
were done.
$1,000 limit and you spend it on Monday and I paid it on Tuesday, you have another $1,000 on Wednesday.
Once I realized
as long as
that,
it clears.
Once you explained that, and I was like, all right, so they give you 1,000 back. Then I realized how people get into debt.
It's free
This is how
money.
you get into debt.
People don't realize it's free money. If you do it correctly, it's free. You go on vacation, your limit's $2,500. Okay, say you bring $100 in cash and you spend $2,500 on vacation, say May 1st. You won't need to pay that. Say your period ends on May 31st. You won't need to pay that until June 31st. They do it a month after. So it's really free money.
But this is how people can get trapped too, right?
Yeah. So obviously there's the people who don't pay it, the people who rack up credit card debt, the people who open up multiple accounts, and they
Do you think that
max
helps
them
as
out.
well if you open up multiple
Yes.
credit cards?
So my credit score is right around 800. The reason I can't get past 800 currently is because I don't have any hard points and I have about 3 years of perfect history. I've never missed a payment, never late payment. I don't have enough accounts, if you could believe that. Currently, they said I need to open up more accounts. They want me to consume more debt. Not debt, but more accounts. Infeasible. My credit limits, they want more higher.
They're trying to screw you up.
No, because I have high limits. I've had credit cards with good history, and I have an American Express card, which they have limits from anywhere from 1,500 up to 100,000. Your limits, it depends on your reliability and then the factor. But they want me to have more credit cards, and I've yet to do it. So what I'm probably gonna do is go to Best Buy and just get a store card or something like that. I don't feel like opening up like a Discover or a Chase. I'll just go to Best Buy and that counts as a credit card, and then hopefully that will jump my score. Sometimes when I have a business card, that will rack up consumable amounts of debt.
Does the business score, if you have a business, right, and you have a business card and a personal card, are those credit scores intertwined?
Yes, because it's linked to my personal name.
Like your social security, right?
Yeah, so that's all linked back to me. So when the business racks up substantial debt on the credit card, say I'm paying off food inventory and it can rack up to $7,000 a week that I have to pay off and rent and all that. So when they see that, it'll lower my score a little bit. But after I pay it off, in that month, the score will come up even higher than what it already was. So in that aspect, key points here about the credit card debt. If you're new to credit cards, go to a local bank, pay collateral, get a credit card. And once you get the credit card, make all your purchases on the credit card if you have the cash. If you're buying a bottle of water and you have the $2, buy it with your credit card. $2, pay for it later when you go to the bank. Why? Because the more purchases, the more they see you, the more they see that you can handle it.
If they don't have, say they don't need to put up collateral, right? They just have debit card, they have money in their bank, like significant amount. They don't need to put up the collateral. They can just apply, right?
Yes.
You can just apply.
Yeah, you can apply. And like I said, you can apply if you have, a good history. You'll probably get approved. Credit card is important. It's vital for loans. It's vital for your house loan. It's vital to getting a good car. I lease my current vehicle. The rates they gave me are substantially lower because I had really good credit. When I got my business loan, they gave me better rates because I had good credit. I was deemed trustworthy to the bank. I was not a liability. So good credit gets you a lot better interest rates, more opportunities, more loans lended, and good credit can get you a good girl. Because there's nothing worse than having bad credit and your significant other finds out, and then that becomes a problem. So I've seen a lot of people who are dating and they don't know that their significant other has bad credit.
So essentially what he's saying is good credit, good life. That's it.
Good credit, good life. If you have good credit, good life. Focus on it.
GCGO.
Google it. Do your research. And just understand. Chemo's new to credit card, but he's building his credit fast because he's taking these key points and he's focusing on them. You don't want to let massive debt and you don't want to compile debt. That's just one way to show credit card companies your liability, and they'll be afraid to give you more money.
700 gang. Not 800 yet, but 700 gang.
Right. So moving into the next phase here, we're going to talk about first dates. So first dates are a big deal, you know? Like, you know, everyone goes on a date. You've been at least on one. If you haven't been on one,
If you had to guess, how many first dates have you been on? Yeah, I'm exposing you. How many first dates have you been on?
I don't know, a lot.
At least.
I don't know.
Rough estimate.
I don't know, a lot. I like first dates. I don't know. It's something
You
about
like dates?
I like dates.
All right.
Even though they don't really happen that much anymore, but
We'll talk about that afterward. Explain to me
kids always trying to fry me. I
Perfect.
don't get it.
perfect first date for our age, for ages like 8, not for 8,
I'll tell you,
high school, not high school.
I'll tell you about one of my first ones.
Let's give me a good first date. Where you go, what you do.
This wasn't, I guess, a good one. Back then, I thought I was.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No movies, none of that bullshit.
Well, that was my first.
Okay, so let's hear it.
That was my first one.
Yeah.
So.
I don't remember why.
We're talking at least 9 years ago. Different person 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Huh?
15?
Yeah, 16. No, I was driving.
16, okay.
Yeah.
I was say 16 and a half.
Yeah.
That's when you got a license.
Yeah. So,
okay.
At that time, things were. I was a different human being back then.
Yeah, the Z back then, though. You're flexing.
I was flexing. I was flexing. Yeah.
Z.
If you knew me back then and you know me now, you've known that I haven't changed. I've just kind of like fell into who I was supposed to be, I guess you could say. But first date,
worse.
Back then we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Snapchat. This was straight up text with with the winky face emoji. Let me pick you up at 7. So I picked up the girl. Then we started driving. I said, in my head, I'm like, I see it in the movies. Best first date, you got to go to the movies.
Do you remember the movie?
Yes, I do, exactly.
The movie.
Matter of fact, could you Google the movie? Because I don't remember the name, but I know it had Justin Timberlake in it. And it was about that time. Yeah, it was a time on his wrist. So that was the movie. I remember the exact movie. And we went to Regal Movie Theater. Showed up to
Regal Movie Theater, for people who don't know where we live, is like the nicer movie theater. You drive 30 minutes out to this movie theater.
You're like flexing if you go to Regal Movie Theater. I'm trying to show you a good time.
Money.
I'm driving 20 minutes out. Or I'm trying to hide you, but who knows? So we go to Regal, we get inside, and now it's like you're at that first date, so it's a little shaky. What is it called? In Time. It was In Time. I remember. What year was that? Oh, really? Am I lying about this?
So you were a junior. No, that makes you were like a junior, like 17. So
maybe this wasn't my first date.
You were 17. Then. Yeah, 8 years. You were still 17 at the time.
Yeah, but this wasn't my first date. All right, this is one of the first ones I remember. You could say it like that.
It's got to be significant somehow.
Right, it was significant. I'll tell you why now. So we're there, and we're at the concession stand. What do you do when you're at the concession stand?
What do you want?
Whatever you want.
You want a large?
A large? Ooh, you got money. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. Did I order? Did she order? So I was like, I got what I wanted, and I'm like, order whatever you want. What's your favorite candy? They got whatever they want. Obviously,
she did the whole. I got it. No, it's fine. I'm not hungry. I don't want anything.
I don't remember if she did that. The reach for her wallet or what she did at that point.
I'm zipping and shit.
I don't think so. The imaginary purse zip where it's just back and forth. No, that didn't happen yet. That happens later in my life.
Okay.
We were a little young here, so I think back then it was.
It was dad's 20.
Huh?
Like her dad giving her 20.
Yeah.
Like you're 20.
And we pull up, and now I'm like, I think she gets a candy. I get a soda, and a popcorn, and we go to the movie theater, and we're on the first date.
Shared the popcorn?
Yeah, you gotta share.
Okay.
You gotta share. We're sitting next to each other, and for some reason, my hands are so sweaty.
Yeah. You've always had sweaty hands, dude.
No. What do you mean I've always had sweaty hands?
Have you not?
I've never had sweaty hands. Like, now people are gonna think I have sweaty hands. Like, no. But that night, I was so nervous, for God knows what reason. My palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms, no. I'm kidding. But my palms were sweaty, and then she tried to hold my hand.
Horny.
And I was like, I didn't want her to hold my hand.
Yeah. Did you have the armrest thing up or down?
It was down because I didn't want her to get closer because my hands are sweaty.
Scared.
So I keep wiping my hands on my pants, but I'm wearing those khaki pants.
Oh, fuck.
That don't dry your hands off,
It's
so now I'm panicking. I'm reaching for everything. I'm on the carpet, like on the floor in the aisle.
The seats are leather. Were they leather?
Leather, yeah. Leather. No, it was the
It was a nice movie theater. They had the leather seats.
So I'm like, oh, God. So then she keeps grabbing my hand. Then she finally holds my hand, and I'm like,
Like this? Like this?
Yeah, like all I could think about was like, in that episode of SpongeBob with that nasty Krabby Patty and he eats it and gets sick?
Yeah.
And that look on his face where he just looks like he shrivels up and dies? Like, that's how I felt. That's how I felt because I was like, it was just, I was like, oh God. And then after.
You like this girl?
Huh?
You like this girl?
Yeah, I'll tell you who it is after the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm saying like because back
I
then
didn't. At the time, I thought we were just good friends, and I was like, oh, this would be a great idea.
because
Whatever.
back then it was like if you went on a date, you got a kiss or something like that. You're like, oh shit, you go tell your boy,
Yeah,
I kissed her.
You know, trying to lean in for the first kiss is always kind of weird back then. It was very strange, but it happened.
Car drop off.
Yeah.
So what happened?
The awkward car drop off. We're gonna just dissolve that day. I just wanted to express a story about your first real shitty interaction. That was one I vividly remember. I don't remember the first other ones, but that was one that stuck in my mind. I remember the movie, I remember the day, I remember the person, I remember everything about it. I think she invited me for like a nightcap, and I panicked and drove away. But
what?
Yeah, so what are you doing after this? I was like, I gotta go home.
Yeah,
just
get out.
Nervous, like shook back then. I was a different human being. But we'll talk about paying on the first date. I think that's key. I mean, personally, I don't know about you, but me, I always pay on the first date, especially if I ask you out. Because it's me asking you out. This is not me to just say that. That's just something, I don't know. That's just how I am. I want to pay. It's not so I feel masculine and macho. It's just a thing in me that feels right.
How do you feel? I've never had a girl pay on the first date because
it's weird.
I feel like it's just something that we grew up with and like dad and you know what I'm saying. You just see it's just like what you're taught and it's like the gentleman life or whatever, right?
No, because people split bills and I get that. Yeah. I understand that.
2018.
All right. So say you take a girl out to a restaurant, all right, and you're at the restaurant and the bill comes. You always want to avoid that awkward, just looking at the bill and she's looking at the bill.
The smart waiter, though, from what I've seen, will hand the bill to you, not put it on the table.
Yeah, but we're living in 2018
yeah, so now they just
they just slide. You don't know who's paying. It's a
shit.
Women's world, it's a man's world, it's whatever's world. Equal rights all day. But me personally, I like to pay the bill. If she grabs the bill and wants to pay it and talks about I'm a woman and I don't need a man. That's the end of the date. But
there's no date.
Like why do you have to mention all that? Like it's whatever. Like if she wants to pay them, I'm like this. Yeah. I'm like, look, I appreciate the gesture, I appreciate the offer, but if for me to just make me comfortable, do you mind if I just pay it?
Yeah. Are you the type of guy that when the bill comes, when say he hands you the thing right and it bifolds right, you open it up. You look her really quick and then put the card in, or you like card's already out?
I don't even look.
You card in.
Whatever that bill is, I don't even look. I don't open it. It could be $1,000. I'm not looking. Just because it makes you uncomfortable if you look at it and you're like, oh shit, that glass of Moscato from $16 is really they just look corny. Like
yeah.
If you asked her out, you should know what you were getting into.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the proper budget or you're on a budget,
yeah,
then pick the correct place. She'll understand. If you don't have enough funds and you take her to an extravagant restaurant and then you're mad that the bill is $200-something and then you realize that that's not who you really are, then that's not good because...
How do you think dates from when we were like, 16, 17, 18 have transitioned to now, being 24 and 22? Like what is a 2018 millennial date? Because we don't do movies anymore. I feel like that if you're in a relationship now, you go to the movies with your friends.
You should never do the movies on a first date. I'm going to tell you why. If you're going to do the movies...
High school was okay, but now it's not okay.
Even in high school, I wish somebody gave me the idea. Because I didn't have...
You got to experience that for yourself.
I mean, if you go to the movies, you just sit there quietly for 2 hours and... Are you serious?
Sorry.
So you sit there quietly for 2 hours, right? And then if you do the movies and then go to a dinner after, then it's great. You can open up tons of dialect and conversation about the movie, and then you can get to know the person. But if you're taking her out, if you're 24, taking on a first date to the movies, unless you both really love movies, because I love movies, I would never mind that on the first date.
Yeah.
Then you just sit there quietly. You just sit there quietly, and then what after? You have to, wow, it's out of hand today. And then you sit there quietly, and then what are you going to talk about after on the way home? Just a movie? And I don't know. For me, I like to do something fun.
Yeah.
But
then you enter that border of like girls being like, chill, I'm not dating you. Like this
you're doing
is
too much, right?
Too much.
Sometimes you're doing too much. That's why you could do.
But some girls want much.
They
never got it.
It doesn't even have to be a dinner. You could do a lunch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sometimes if you ask
her
out to
too casual, too coffee.
No, because you never know. Because like I said, she might get asked to a bunch of dinners. But if you ask her to a brunch or
I've never done that.
A breakfast, or you ask her out to, hey, let's grab coffee. A breakfast, yeah,
that's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
I never thought let's grab a coffee and a muffin. I never thought that. I feel like that's like every time you see it at the movies, though, they're like 29, 30. Like, yeah, let's meet you for coffee. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't drink coffee, so that's never.
It's a good idea, though.
But yeah, if you go for lunch, it's way more casual. It's during the daytime. People just feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's not as much pressure as I feel like on a dinner date where I feel like it's a lot of pressure on you
I've-
and her. Like I said, I'm giving the guy's perspective because one, I'm a guy, so
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't
Yeah.
really know how the girls feel, but
Yeah.
I've talked to a bunch of the women and
Yeah.
they've relayed their bad experiences
Yeah.
and good experiences. So like I kind
Yeah.
of have an idea of what works
Yeah.
with both. But paying is key for me.
I think
Sometimes
for the girls' perspective, girls, leave your comments in the bottom of the YouTube so you know lunch, dinner, coffee, if that's cool, and the guy paying thing. We want to know what you guys think about.
No, there's some women who are like, you could tell that they're like, no, I must pay. And then
But there are also some that are like, you better freaking
there's
pay.
like, it's like, if you don't pay, then this is over. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen those.
just a gesture. I don't think they really expect, like, they just want you to know that, they want to know that you're about paying, you know?
And that's good. Like, if she asks you out and she says, can we please split the bill? I mean, if you want to do something like.
Have you been asked out by a girl?
I have.
I have.
I didn't really like. I don't know. It was kind of different.
Yeah.
Kind of strange.
It's a little stupid. You like the
But that's where I got the idea. She asked me out to coffee, and I
I
was
like
like,
the aggressiveness.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. But
Tying it back.
talking, I'm a little sick, so if you hear me sound sniffly or under the weather, it's
Sniffly.
I'm sick. Is that a word?
I hope not.
Sniffly? I just made it up. You heard? So when going out and things of that nature, so this has actually happened. This is a funny story I have about first dates.
Yeah.
So we went out to a restaurant. And it was like a little pricey. I
One
think.
of Amir's many first dates.
Yeah. So it was about I think the bill was like $127.
All right.
I forget.
Once you enter the realm of like 21 and older, you got like $100 bills.
I mean, people drink. I don't drink, so sometimes like the alcoholic drinks, the cocktails are a little bit pricier. And
Yeah.
I personally like a certain meal. Like I like fillets. Like I don't know, call it what
Amir's
you
a big
want.
steak guy.
I'm steak, and steaks
not a
usually
steak
run
guy.
like $50 to $70, for 8 ounces or whatever. So you're gonna pay
Eat
a
more
little
chicken.
bit. And we're getting the bill, and she was heavy on paying.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The whole bill.
yeah, but like she didn't say it, but she mentioned it once or twice as like a joke. And then I was like, whatever. So the bill came, and she put her hand on it, and like looked at me, and I was like,
You did one of these?
no, not even. I just looked at her and said, thank you. And so she slides the bill
No,
over.
you didn't.
Slides the bill over, looks at it, goes like this. Is waiting for me to say, let me get it, right? I'm like, no. I was like, you want to be the tough guy or the tough girl? Be my guest. Opens it, looks up at me, closes it. I know what it's going to cost. Because I've been to this
You
restaurant.
know the restaurant. What were you expecting, Bill?
Huh? It was to be 130s. I know it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it in my heart.
Yeah.
So she's looking at it, and I was like, and she's like, puts the bill down, is looking for her purse that's right in front of her. You know what I'm talking about.
Scrambling. She's
Scrambling. And I looked at it, I was like, do you just want me to get it? And then she was like, please. I was like, I told you not to grab the bill. And
How did you feel in that moment?
Huh?
You felt like king.
No, not at all. I just thought it was funny because like she didn't expect it, and I was like, look, it's not a big deal. I was like, she's like, I'll leave the tip. Please let me leave something.
Tip's like fucking $20. $25.
I know.
$25.
I was like, look, listen, how about this? You could just go get ice cream, and I don't know.
pay for the ice cream.
You can pay for like the ice cream or something like that. If you really insist on it, like you have to compromise. If you just say no, sometimes people get turned off by that. And they're like, whatever, you're just being a dick or something.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Actually, I always thought about the ice cream date. You've done the ice cream date?
Love it.
You like it?
It's such because like nothing.
I personally hate it. I hate going to ice cream date. I hate sitting down. I hate eating the ice cream.
I got stories for days about it.
hate it.
I got stories. I'm actually lactose intolerant. So
yeah, he is.
So I don't need ice
You like
cream.
everything you can't have.
Yeah, like
Just like every
yeah.
guy.
I didn't eat ice cream for 6 years. 5 years maybe. Straight. I just never ate ice cream and I didn't eat cheese. I don't know why, I just didn't like it.
I think
Obviously, because I was
think
lactose
I
intolerant.
ate too much ice cream, especially
You
when
eat
we
a lot.
When we were on the cruise, like when we were on the cruise
Yeah,
when
you
we
were
were younger,
disgusting with it, yo.
I'd have like 15 cones a day and I lost my voice. I had my throat fucked up. So now I hate ice cream.
But
I'm messed
so
up.
ice cream dates are great. Like as a first date,
Yeah.
they're fun.
Cheap.
Everybody loves ice cream. They're cheap, and it's something to sit there and do and talk about.
Is that the first thing you do, or is it like let's go to dinner then get ice cream?
No,
Then you're doing too much.
No, like it depends. If you know this person, say this person's a coworker,
Yeah.
say this person. If you know have some type of rapport with this person.
Yeah.
I just make that up too.
No, it's not war. It's rapport.
Rapport. Jesus Christ.
Rapport, whatever.
So
fuck it, same
so
thing.
say if you know them and you take them out on an ice cream date, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's perfect. It's a lot of good conversation.
Yeah.
And nobody gets mad over ice cream.
Yeah.
You
Are you
talk-
side tilting right now in the hat?
Am I?
I think I'm pulling straight. There we go. You're side tilting for a second.
No, ice cream as a first date are definitely ideal.
Yeah.
Personally, that's
Okay.
what I think.
I've never done it.
A lot of girls talk about like
maybe I have.
first dates being kind of like awkward or weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's funny. There's this show on TV, Millionaire Matchmaker.
One of our favorite shows. We used to always watch that.
Yeah.
I used to always watch that.
Okay.
I used
There
to
we
always
go.
watch that.
So I caught one episode, and she's a millionaire matchmaker. So she puts people together. She's been doing it for 20 plus some odd years.
PS, Patty Stanger.
Patty Stanger. And one of the things she always says, because these guys, like, they have like 20 girls and they pick 2, and then they go out on mini dates with these 2 women, or guys, vice versa, whatever. They talk about you have to get a kiss on the first date.
Have to.
Have to. That she says like that's kind of like a necessity on first dates. Why? I'm unsure of, but you have to. Now comes that point and like we're
I don't
like,
even want to talk about that. I've blown it.
yeah, a lot. Like, how do you? You're now in the car. You're parked. It's hard, especially if it's like.
I don't think it's hard. Like, I don't think I've been nervous to get
You're in a
denied.
car.
I just don't know. Whole dynamic is shot with the arm thing here. I don't know what to do, and I typically just blow it.
Like sometimes you get like
The path.
the nightcap. Do you want to come up for tea, or like you see in the movies, like that actually goes down. Like, you want to come up for a drink, or you want to come up?
I mean, unless you have your own place, kind of.
Yeah, no,
You
place,
don't
or
meet the
it could be a
parents?
dorm room, it could be whatever. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter where it is, but
Yeah.
if they invite you up, then like it's gonna be a smoother transition than just sitting in that car.
Yeah.
What a story about the car was, I went out a few times
What?
with this girl,
Okay.
and she would exit the vehicle like I was
Immediately.
like I was Bane, and she was Batman running away from me, and I was confused.
You were like this. You put in. Just out the door.
Yeah, like park, boom, doors open, and I was like,
Not even a see you later. Just,
Huh?
God,
and
texted you.
I was confused. Now I'm like, wow, like I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Did you
Something-
real? Okay.
Something's wrong, right?
what happened?
So I was curious. Something must be off. And then it happened like twice. It wasn't. I'm
Yeah.
exaggerating the way she exited the vehicle.
Yeah.
Let me not throw shade here.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then I ended up just saying it bluntly. I was like, what's the issue? And she's like, I don't know. I just thought you wanted me to leave the car really fast. And that was just a pure case.
Put it on her. She put it on her. You scared her.
Huh? No. I guess like the way I was coming off and the way she was coming off, she thought I was unhappy with her.
Yeah.
And then I thought that she was unhappy
Yeah.
because there was no communication.
Yeah.
You got to just be straightforward about things.
Yeah.
That's what I realize now. A lot of people aren't straightforward. They don't communicate well. And that's what also leads to like first date awkwardness. In your first date, don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics, especially like if you're
Don't talk about your favorite thing not to talk about. What's your favorite thing that you never want to bring up?
Don't bring up their exes. Don't talk about exes on your date. Why would you even do that? I hear a bunch of stories of friends coming back like, yeah, she brought up her ex and we talked about. Fuck, you talking about her ex for?
Amir is keen on not talking about the ex.
There's no reason. Like, why would you do that? Maybe it bothers them. Maybe they still have feelings for them. And what are you, their Dr. Phil now all of a sudden? Like,
I feel like I'm notorious for this. I feel like the time that it's happened, you're shot now. Like the night's over. You're not getting a kiss.
you're done.
Nothing.
You're tapped out.
You're
It's
done.
over. You're done. You might as well pack it up, call the Uber home.
Done. I'd get out of the car fast.
It's over. Yeah. Don't bring up your exes. And like I said, just have a general conversation. If you really struggle with conversation, like
What
a
if
lot
she
of
brings it up? Like she's like, hey, like, so what was your previous relationship? How long was it? How'd you break up? Like she's asking questions.
then just be open and honest. Be like, yeah, no, listen, I dated so and so for a little while. We broke up because of this. You can say you're at a good place. You can say whatever you want to say.
But don't ask
But
her
don't-
like, what about your ex?
No, if she asks you, I'm not asking you.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck your ex.
You're losing.
Thank your ex for you guys breaking up so you're here with me. That's the only reason we're going to talk about your ex. Thank him for breaking up with you so you're here with me.
Or
Like,
whatever happened between them.
yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, so don't bring up your ex. And if you're a guy, you're almost looked upon to lead the conversation.
I feel like often too much though.
Yeah,
often too
there's
much.
a lot of pressure on you.
I'm sitting there. I'm like
yesterday we were talking to our friend, and he's like, how he's on a date with a girl, and she's kind of like, hey,
shout out Sean.
What's your name? And or like, hey, like, what do you do for hobbies? She's like, oh, tennis. He's like, oh, where do you go to school? Oh, I go here.
But the worst part about this was she's the one that reached out to him, and she's the one that wanted to hang out with him initially.
She's a bad conversationalist. Or why would she do that? Like, why?
The texting between them, she was the one leading it more. So now when in person came, that was weird.
So you're a keyboard warrior, fierce on the keyboards, but when it comes to face-to-face interactions,
shit the bed.
You're just nervous. And like, that's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be shaken up. If you're a guy and you're a little weird of conversation, you can Google conversational topics.
I feel like I've always wanted to be that badass, like Batman on the date where like you're just like, are you nervous? Like, are you okay? Like, you know what I mean? Be that guy that's like,
that's what I do.
Pimping. Like, you're like, you nervous? Don't be nervous.
Because you said I'm a badass. That's why I said, of course I said that's what I do. No, like if you're on a date with somebody and they're like, you could literally say to them, like, hey, are you nervous? Like,
am I intimidating you? Something like that. Some badass like that.
Yeah, and it's open. Now you've communicated. Hey, look, listen, are you all right? Like, you just relax. Like, trust me.
Meanwhile, I go in the bathroom, look in the mirror. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, fix it out there. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm having a mirror moment. I'm panicking. I'm like,
no, you gotta just communicate. Google things to talk about. I always talk about people's hobbies. Google things they like. Find out what people like. Don't just listen. A lot of people talk and listen. You gotta hear what they're saying. If she talks about she has a dog, talk about the dog. You can't go wrong with the dog.
Amir's the guy. Amir's the analyzer. He figures out the girl. He's got the understanding of what she likes off the hobbies, off the Instagram, off this. Starts talking about dogs. She's like, oh, I have a dog. He's like, I love this type of dog, which is her breed of dog.
That's just me. I have good conversation. I'm a conversationalist. That's it. Picking up on what you say, things you mention, there's obviously an interest within them. And if they align with my interests, it becomes very easy to communicate because if you like dogs and I semi-like dogs, then I can branch off and talk about dogs with you. If you like sports, I can talk about sports as long as it's not watching sports because I know nothing about watching sports. Playing sports is a different story. Like I said,
as we're wearing Red Sox hats, and they won the World Series.
Yeah, we're out here being fake Boston fans.
I can at least name some of the players.
We're gonna talk about this is another topic that's also kind of funny, but
quick little topic
here.
Yeah, before we end.
We're gonna talk about this like in 2018. I tweeted this, but in 2018, I think it's easier to have sex than to go out on a date.
One more time.
So it's easier to have sex in 2018 than to take somebody out on a date. And if you think I'm lying,
let us know your thoughts on that too. Put it at the bottom, put the comments.
Let me know.
Shoot Amir's DM, shoot my DM.
I really believe this to be true. So there's this weird unwritten rule. Me and Kim were just arguing about it before we started right now. Just hear me out. Because it's kind of crazy to believe. So think about this. Say you have a one-night stand or you hook up with somebody, whether it be at school or whether it be local or whether it be at whatever, okay? Say you see this person again, right? One-night stand, you see this person again.
Okay, before the one-night stand, though, do you know this person or you
never
met them?
You don't know
never met them.
You may know of them, but you don't know them at all.
You actually don't know them at all.
Kind of a stranger, right?
So there's one night.
But somehow you guys hook up.
It blew it out.
And say you weren't highly intoxicated. You were somewhat coherent in the situation, you know? Everyone realizes what they did.
Their situation is a one night.
Everyone realizes it's one night stand, that's it. And you see them. If you were to go up to them and give them a hug or something along that line, or like, just in general, you would be deemed a psychopath, right? People would look at you.
Group chats, you're in the friends group chats.
You're getting shit on. Oh, God, this guy just came up to you. This girl just came up to you and gave me a hug after I just hugged. Bro, like, why? Why is there an unwritten rule about that? I don't get that. You just had sex. You fornicated. You just did the most intimate thing you can do with another human. And you mean to tell me I can't give you a hug in the Starbucks line? Because I'm the fucking psychopath? How does that make any sense?
I don't know. I from what I realized, like,
they're like, oh, you're clingy.
I'm thinking of the Starbucks line right now, to be honest with you. And like, if I'm standing in line and you see somebody, I'm just gonna peer over like this. I'm like this.
You just don't look at them, right? Like,
looking
you look
away.
Like, oh God,
what do you say?
That's Jimmy from the other night. Oh God, like you start texting your friends like Jimmy's here. What do I do?
If you know nothing of them, if you go up to hug them, what do you say after?
I mean, it was good enough.
It was fun last night.
Blow the
sitting on my
back
face.
Out, so you might as well just. You could say hello. That's just weird to me how that's a weird rule. And like, say you did have sex, whatever, and then you're like, all right, now you want to ask that person out on a date. It's like rocket science trying to do that.
Yeah,
you now have to jump through a bunch of hoops.
Yeah, you hit level 3, without even starting at the base. So it's like,
Yeah, and if you try to go back to first base, oh no, timeout, junior. We don't do that over here.
but then why would you want to like? The thing is like this goes for guys and girls.
Sometimes
like,
people just want to do it to do it. Sometimes you want to have a one night stand just to have a one night stand. Like I get that, but like not every time is it like that. You sometimes like
no, they're going on the date thing. I'm saying like if you say girl goes for girls and guys, like if you're to hook up on the first time you meet them or whatever, like would you want to date that person? Like is like you
I
just,
get what you're saying.
You know
I get
what
what
I'm
you're saying. Like some people think like that. Where like, oh, if she gave it up easy, or he gave it up on the first
Yeah,
night.
it's for girls and guys, same way. I'm
Like,
not saying like guys.
Yeah, like oh, like would I actually want to date this person? Yada yada yada. I mean,
Do you like that chase though that girls give sometimes?
I
the
think
hard to
in
get type stuff?
2018, true story. I believe this, and it's actually hard to open up. I hope you guys understand that it's hard to have a podcast when you try to be really truthful, and people judge you for it. It's crazy, but like I said, that's why I'm here. I think that people are more excited about the chase than the prize. You know what I mean? I personally love the interaction. I love going out on first dates, meeting new people, but I'm a very outgoing person.
So you're
Doesn't
saying
have to
like
be
when
just
people,
dates. I like interacting with other people. That's just me.
so you're saying like when you work for it and you finally get the girl,
Yeah.
you're done. You're like, I lost him.
Exactly.
This is
Some
boring
girls
now.
are like, oh, I'm gonna make him wait or whatever. Like, yeah, the guys get excited about that or
Goes for
annoyed.
girls and guys, both are like that. Yeah.
Like I said, guys, we're saying this for both sides, but I'm just gonna keep referring to as in the guy reference just because it's easier for me. So say she's making you wait, yada yada, and you're like, oh yeah, she must be worth it. And then say you finally do get it, whatever that may be. You might be turned off now because you're like, all right, the prize is cool, but like I like the hunt. Where's the next hunt? So that's how I think in today's world people
Like
think of it.
like there are some girls I know like we expect or we don't expect, but we hope to get a first kiss on the first date. But there are some countries and places
You mean like hoes?
and girls. No. What?
That's how you made it sound.
No, I'm saying
I
like
just wanted to clarify it.
No, I'm saying like we like now in today's world, like or like 2018 here in America, like we go out and like all right, I hope I kiss her tonight. Not kiss, you don't have to fuck her, but like if you can get a kiss that night, you're like all right, I got a kiss. But like I feel like in a lot of countries, some guys don't get to kiss their girlfriends for months.
All guys ask out girls in DMs. You're weak, and it's garbage attempts. Guys,
Oh,
yes, guys pick the shittiest times to ask girls out in the bar when she doesn't want to talk to you at that moment.
Don't do the gym.
I don't know. The gym might be worth it.
Gym might be a new one.
It's tricky. The gym is tricky. That's
Might
a
have to
related
try it.
subject, but that's a tricky one to do. But the bar or people go in DMs and like I just think face to face because if you could see how somebody's reacting, it makes the situation.
How's the DM? But you think the DM can have a high success rate? Say if the girl follows you, there's that whole like a couple pictures things. She follows you, follow her back.
If there's like a mutual interest, then yeah, it could be easier. Like,
You would shoot your shot then.
yeah, cause shoot or shoot.
Yeah. You think there's probably a high success rate to. I mean, some people have a high success rate to DM, some people don't. I mean, also there's Tinder and stuff like that. It's also become a world of just not having to put any effort into the face-to-face anymore because you
People
have
just
Tinder
get
and Bumble
instant
and all these-
validation. That's the problem with people and millennials dating and first dates today and interactions today and all that. People have instant validation and they don't build meaningful relationships with people because if you want to feel pretty, post an Instagram picture, boom, like, you feel validated. People talk about the social media experiment where social media is related to dopamine, which is the same thing, the high that gives you from cocaine and heroin and drugs and other illicit narcotics. That high you get from drugs is the same exact chemical change in your mind that you get from social media. When you pick up this phone and you get those likes, you're happy. When you go on Tinder and you swipe right and she, swipes you too, you're happy. So that's why I think dating has become so difficult.
That's why we check our phones in the morning. It's why we
check our phones everywhere. It's just a drug. It's a drug. And the instant validation makes everything difficult. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to build a meaningful relationship, which is why all these cheating and all this.
But I feel like the
shit
people that do want to try and build a meaningful relationship and the people that do want to try and do it,
those people can't find
they lose.
the other people like them.
They lose, yeah.
The problem is they get these, very.
I'm not saying the whole nice guy finished last name. I'm saying the whole
nice guys do finish last.
That's for another time.
That's a fact. I've actually had. I have a full breakdown of that. That's a proven method. It's actually tragic. You wish things would be different, but like I said, that's for a later time.
Who hurt this kid?
Who hurt him? No, but you definitely want to, like I said, like that. People just don't build meaningful relationships. The instant validation is all just a constant problem, and that's what makes just first dates difficult. So I don't know if you think of going on a first date, like where's your first date again? Let's just recap that. Ideal first date.
my ideal first date would be at this age. I like the whole dinner idea. I really do like dinner because you can talk. I don't want a loud place. Take her to a nice dinner. It doesn't got to be anything like $500 dinner, but like $100 dinner, sure. It depends on like if you really see yourself trying to date this girl, you got to take you as a guy. You want to take her. You want to show out all the stuff. You take her to the nicest dinner. You're gonna wear your favorite shirt, your favorite shoes. You're gonna clean your car. You're gonna clean the inside. Like you're gonna smell good. Haircut. You're like
I took a girl indoor skydiving as the first date.
no shot.
Yeah,
Where?
in Yonkers. I thought it was the greatest idea. As I was doing it, I was like, wow, like
That's kind of cool. I would
write
do
a
that.
book about me for how good this idea was.
I don't know if I'm driving that far, but I would do that.
Huh?
It's kind of far from here.
Oh, okay, but like it was a great idea. I thought it was fantastic, and that was such a unique experience.
That's cool. She'll never forget that.
No, because you want to pick something that's a first experience for said person. The more you can experience them, or more you can show them experiences, the more memorable it'll be. And like I said, it'll leave a lasting impression. Hopefully, a better.
I would do
impression.
like go karting. That would be cool. Is that too relationshipy?
An activity. You want to do an activity?
Relationshipy? I feel like it's a little.
No, it's nothing too relationshipy. If you come off
Trip to the city.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
If she agrees, then she'll be down. It'll be exciting. They'll have fun. As long as you have fun and keep it lighthearted, I don't see how you could.
Yeah. I feel like a trip to the city, maybe something like that. Ice skating. Nope, that's too relationshipy. Borderline. That's borderline.
I mean, if you're both bad, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like I said.
If one's out there like Gretzky, it's a problem.
If she's out there doing triple axles and stuff,
there's
and
that
you're
one
over here
Asian
rolling your ankles.
figure skater, I don't know her name, but you know what I'm talking about?
Michelle Twain? Go on.
I don't know, something like that, but she's really good. We're not gonna fact check that. Amir just fucked it up.
No, but like I said.
Okay, well, wrapping it all up, Amir gave you guys a breakdown on credit score. I'm currently building my credit score, trying to get to the 800 club. That's gonna take some time. We got to do the whole relationship breakdown. Amir explained his side of the relationship. We got to explain the millennial relationship stuff and like taking that on the first date. I would say some key points. What are some key points for perfecting
have a
the
plan.
first date?
Or be fake spontaneous.
You yelled at me for having the plans. The plan never goes as far. And you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
No, because like when you have an idea, don't get in the car with said person and be like, oh, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Oh, I thought you meant like have a plan in your brain, like, oh, I got to take her here, then do this, and then I got to kiss her at this time.
No, that's crazy. That's called being a psycho.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like have a plan. Know you're gonna go to said place. Make sure it's open. Do your due diligence before. Don't show up to the place it's closed.
I've done that.
Have good conversation and just don't take it too seriously. People can tell when you're a robot and it's uncomfortable.
Do you think the whole like show interest, not too much interest thing, like, and then after the date, are you texting after the date?
It's all games.
No more. Yeah, are you texting after the date though? You being like, oh, I had a great time with you, or not?
Why not? If you had a great time, then let them know. Give them that sense of encouragement. Like,
I'm
hey,
taking this from a millennial standpoint. Remember?
Yeah,
like,
people like, oh, I'm not gonna text them. No, text them. Be like, tonight was great. I hope to see you again soon. Plan your second date.
Yeah.
As you're ending the first date, be like, look, I had a great time. Maybe are you free sometime this week? Don't just leave it open-ended.
Yeah.
If you can plan a second one because the first one went off great, that's fantastic.
If you're doing something like indoor skydiving, like shit, it's kind of hard to do a better one than that for the next one.
Yeah, it's hard to top that.
Let's go to Wendy's. Like,
the only upgrade from that was actual skydiving, but it was wintertime, so it was a little chilly.
Yeah. But then again, say you get them hooked. So that's a good idea, though. I like that.
But like I said, just be light, have a plan, make it fun, and make sure you enjoy yourself. Don't just do something because they like to do it.
I want to know the girls or guys' best first date places or like ideas. Put them in the comments below. Put them on the YouTube. I want to get some ideas.
Take her to a winery. If you want to suffer a little bit,
that's cool.
All girls love winery.
Good idea.
Another good idea I was gonna take out when I'm in the city, and like this girl I wanted to go out. We were gonna go do. There was a pizza class. So it was like a cooking class, and you like
borderline for me, but that's cool.
No, because it's engaging. You both are making pizza.
That's cool.
So it's a cooking class for like people together. So that's a great idea. Go cooking class. Go karting. Small jokey things like escape rooms.
Yeah.
Where you're both now you guys have to work together. It's just about building, like finding if this person's compatible, building a bond. If you can be around this person, that's how you can find.
All about this.
I'm on.
Got any takers? Shit.
Single.
I'm about to go within the
single, ready to mingle.
That's
fun.
I'm
a first date expert over here. I should have made a book about this stuff.
Escape room. I forgot we did that. It was really
That's a good idea. How fun was that? And you hated it. You're like, this is so stupid.
I mean, it was freezing in there.
An hour later, you loved
freezing in there, but it was fun.
But like I said, everybody, just real quick, a part of the business aspect and things like that. People were asking me about self-improvement books. I actually got a few inquiries about that. 2 books that I would recommend you to start reading. I read a bunch of these books, but How to Win and Influence People, that's a key book. You can go into Amazon, read all about it. I don't want to take up time and hold about it. Second one is by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. This is basically like Warren Buffett and all the business tycoon secrets wound up into one book. Both these are great. Gary Vaynerchuk and a bunch of other books. But like I said, do with what you want. I just want to
Also, if you don't read, Audible. I listen to audiobooks. I listen to those books. You can read them too, whichever.
I want to thank you guys for tuning into episode 3. We look forward to hearing you guys next week. And like I said, we just want to keep dropping these, every week.
I mean, the business thing we did at the beginning, give your inquiries on what you guys want to hear. Like the credit score thing was really valuable. They're going to really appreciate that. What else would you guys want to hear about? Put it in the comments below on the YouTube.
Yeah, do you guys want more business? Do you guys want more pleasure? Do you want more jokes? Or what do you guys want?
Also, do you like the structure of this podcast we had with Amir in the beginning with the business sort of idea and then kind of diving into some funner topics, like the millennial stuff?
So we're not going to take any of your advice. Yeah. It's my podcast. No, I'm kidding. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Show some feedback. Show some
love. See you guys next week.
Appreciate you guys. See you later.